Hello everyone, welcome back to Zero Tolerance TV. I am ZT. We're going to be heading into game number 3 of Group B in this 2006 Shinhan Bank OSL. It's going to be a Zerg vs Terran, which is probably the best matchup to watch. I might prefer watching Zerg vs Protoss, but that's just because I play Protoss. I have to agree, this is just the most entertaining matchup. And really, it's been great for a long time, so expecting a pretty nice game here. Also, you know, always the potential of a not-so-great one, but this is GoRush in the yellow, and his opponent is going to be Sync. Yeah, so GoRush, oh, who did he beat? He beat July with an early pool. And really, July, you know, he just caught him doing a greedy build, and July really didn't have anything to deal with it. There was a chance, maybe, if he'd gotten that sunk colony to finish, but didn't have the minerals to actually start it, so kind of just got worked. Oh yes, 815, this is the map that has those very small ramps. This is 815-3, and a, okay, no, barracks on the low ground. So looks like Rack's first. So maybe going to be an aggressive build here. 4 quick barracks, maybe an 8 racks. Going to be definitely needs to put some pressure on and get something done. And yeah, there's the depot. So definitely a quick barracks here for Sync. Not really sure what GoRush is doing yet. I think he's made a second Overlord. Yes, he has. And it looks like it hatched first. Unless this is a scouting drone, but no. Gonna be a quick hatch here. So, definitely a chance for Sync to get some good damage done here. He will need a little bit. This is kind of like the greedy build from Zerg. So, if you're doing a quick barracks and your opponent's going for a pretty greedy build, you definitely need to get damage done. And actually double scouting here to try to find GoRush as quickly as he can. He's going to see this Overlord in the bottom left when he pokes into the main. And no, shoot, I'm cross spawns, that sucks. Oh, this is actually, is this a triple scout? No, I think it is. Wow, 3 SCV scouting is pretty freaking aggressive. And the Marines are on their way now. So Sync has scouted GoRush, sees gas, but nothing in it yet. Can't think that he's already got 100 gas from that. That's definitely a Vespine geyser that is untapped at the moment. Oh, I guess it's tapped, but I haven't pulled any of it out. Here we go. First bunker is starting. Some drones are already here, so GoRush does know what's going on. Sees the Marines. I thought he might jump on that one there for a second. Actually, a really nice block with the SCV there. Almost kills. Actually, does end up killing that drone pretty early, so quite good for Sync. First SCV that was building a bunker does die, but it looks like it's probably going to finish here. And this is looking pretty scary for GoRush here. You can take some damage to this and be fine. Given the quick hatch, actually a lot of lings here popping out. Looks like he might even be able to bust this bunker. If he can save the hatch, I think he's still in a pretty decent spot. A couple drones went down, but not that bad. And this is kind of what you need to get done with the racks. The early barracks to be not super behind, but this was hatch first that really didn't get punished that hard. Maybe 3 drones going down, so a decent spot here for GoRush. Sync definitely wanted a little bit more than that, and especially when you finish the bunker, you have to expect you're going to get a little more damage done than that, but a quick reaction from GoRush. Looks like he might have had some larvae saved up or something, because a bunch of lings all popped out at once. And he's actually able to repel that. So we'll see where Sync wants to go from here. I don't think he's taking gas yet, but the minimap is a little blurry on this one. Not the greatest quality, unfortunately, but that's kind of what we're dealing with these games from 2006. And yeah, the gas is done, and a factory is already started, so not going to be expanding quite yet. I don't think there's much of a chance that GoRush goes up this ramp. It's just too narrow. It does peek up and see if it's see if it's unguarded for some reason, but of course there are the Marines there. Basically, natural bunker. Okay, so I think this is going to be 2-port Wraith. Basically, he said, my attack didn't get much done, not enough done, so I'm just going to cheese. And fair enough. Can't blame him too much. First creep colony started here. That's going to be a sunk. No Evo chamber yet anyway. Okay, and it's Spire, which is probably decent tech for killing Cloak Wraiths, assuming you don't lose all your overlords. Mutas are pretty good at fighting Wraiths, but also Scourge are obviously great at taking them out. Unlike Corsairs, even if you're just one Scourge hits and it doesn't kill the Wraith, you know, they don't regen shields. They have to run home and get repaired for that health to get brought back, so bit of a different relationship, but really kind of the same. Oh my god, is this Ling gonna get the ramp? No, it looks like it will be blocked. Okay, that was a scary moment, I think, for anyone who's cheering for Sync. If that Marine hadn't been there to block the ramp, I think this game is basically over. And yeah, there's Wraith starting. Only one add-on though, so it's definitely not anything crazy like double dropship or something. So let's see what GoRush does. Okay, that's an unmorphed sunk. Or, excuse me, creep colony. So perhaps gonna have that to make a spore, but no evolution chamber yet. So we won't be able to make that. Picking off an overlord here. One did try to run into the base and maybe scout something out. I guess the Wraiths are completely scouted now. And I think GoRush probably has a decent idea of what's going on, given the Wraith showing itself. Doesn't know about a cloak yet, but I think he'll probably want to be safe about it and at least make the Evo chamber, but it's not out yet. So maybe not. He's gonna need to do a decent job of protecting his overlords. That's really important now, because those will be his only source of detection. And there we go. Cloak is revealed, or the Wraiths are no longer revealed. So here we go. Some overlords here. The Mutas, yeah, if you have detection, the Mutas fight Wraiths pretty well, as long as they actually fight. The Wraiths here, as you can see, have a pretty decent micro ability. Looks like Drops is actually researched because that drone is not in GoRush's main anymore. The Wraiths do pick it off. I don't think any of them died there on that, so pretty good for Sync. That takes quite a while for an overlord to move over there. Have to say, it seems kind of sloppy and risky to drop the drone before you've either pushed the Wraiths away or have any ability to protect it. Another drone gets picked off, and looks like this overlord is definitely going to die as well. Some Scourge coming in here. Will he be able to connect? No, the Wraiths do manage to get away. The Mutas have now come back to reinforce. One Scourge goes down. Some nice micro. So Sync is getting some damage done with these Wraiths. Actually doing a pretty decent job of delaying the third, which is pretty important. Actually takes out the overlord there, so no detection left in that area. Is there a drone in here? Drone? This would be the time. Okay, yeah. Looks like he will finally get his base started. Do you have to mine that patch to start the base or something? I'm confused. 815 is a weird map. Kind of cool though. I like the ramps in a way. I'm wondering if a Dragoon can even walk down them. I'm assuming they designed it with that like back forth sort of pattern off the ramp so that a Dragoon could get down it, but I mean, you never know. Dragoons are just so stupid. Another Overlord getting picked off, and there's enough Wraiths here to kill those really quickly. Oh, wow, but the Scourge aren't connecting. Wow, he actually had such a great opportunity. Probably could have killed maybe one or two Wraiths there if he'd only attacked A bunch of sunks here, but I really think this is a mistake from GoRush. There's really not much to suggest that that Sync is gonna do. Oh, never mind. I'm just stupid, I guess. Here's the Marines. It seemed a little early to me, but I guess it's the move because there's a pretty decent Marine army moving out right now. I do think the spore colony, there we go. The spore colony is pretty important. And there are spores over at the hatches. It's actually the second one in the natural, so decently protected. Looks like, yeah, Sync has scouted this base in the bottom left, so that's where the Marines are going. Pretty unfortunate for GoRush just to straight up lose basically 350 minerals. And a larva, I suppose. But this base being denied isn't the biggest deal. He was able to secure a third, so it is 3 base against 1, which is a pretty comfortable position for Zerg. Have to think. Well, I don't know, man. Can Sync really take a base? Is that just an option for him to go late like that? I'm not so sure. I'm not sure what that missile turret is doing. Just a scouting turret, maybe. It's like GoRush wants another spore in his main, starting one over the third. I think he should probably make 1 or 2 more. Again, with this 2 base lead, really just wants to play safe and sort of get his advantage that way. Seems like Sync is somewhat interested in taking that bottom left main. Not sure what the SCV is doing there, if not getting ready to drop a command center. But a lot of production on 1 base here for Sync so far. It's like 3 racks, he's got 2 Stargates, and the factory as well. Definitely can't produce off all of that at once. Oh, will the Scourge hit? No. No, they do not quite hit. So 2 Overlords killed for free there. Plus the drone that was, I think, probably about to be ferried over to that island. Okay, and some decent micro here, killing off a couple drones. Not very good spore positioning. I'll never understand spore positions like that, where they just don't even really cover anything, to be honest. Put one in your mineral line. Just do it. Or behind or something. Or just make 2, like, really. So, anyway, Hydrogen here started for GoRush. Down in his actually protected natural. Okay, and the CC is about to finish here for Sync. Still behind though, and really these Wraiths, they got some damage done, no doubt. They got some decent damage, but I'm not sure they did quite enough to be worth the investment. He does still have them, but Wraiths really don't do much in a big fight. They kind of just die. They're terrible at fighting Hydralisks, and if they actually fight air units, they're pretty bad too. So, really gonna have to try to take advantage of that cloak or something. Now, if you can find a flock of mutas without any detection, go to hell, you know. Go ham. That's your time, but not very common. Okay, and that looks like Sync has decided, well, my first, like, 4 cheeses didn't work, so I'm gonna try another one. Just put a base down here after expanding when I have basically no army. GoRush is still going to be ahead on bases, though, if this can finish, and honestly, this area looks pretty well defended. I don't think Race can do much to this many Mutalisks. Definitely not able to fight that straight up, especially when you're worried about Scourge running in. 2 Overlords here are going to have a lot of detection as well. And yeah, more Scourge do rally out, so... Yeah, Overload speed is done now too. So it looks like GoRush can start getting a little more aggressive with his air units, since he can actually bring his Overloads with him now. We'll have to see how good these Wraiths are on defense. 4 racks. Yeah. I mean, once you actually have the 3 base, you'll be able to produce off more than that. And with your double Stargate, or Starport already done, it's kind of nice. Just have to build the science facility, and obviously we did see a vessel, so that production has already started. Now, I guess with Irradiates against really what is starting to look like a bit of an Ogre Zerg gamer move here, that's pretty strong. A ton of Mutalisks produced. It's definitely, I think, more than 11. Okay, and Lurker's morphing now. The mutas are still good right now, but they will eventually be not so great. Okay, actually, GoRush has scouted the base in the bottom left, so I have to think that is just gonna die. Not much of an ability to protect it here. That's a lot of SCVs with this army. I guess that's actually the transfer. Yeah, those are SCVs transferring over to that third. Oh, and a radiate goes down. I really thought GoRush was going to get that science vessel, though. Needs to split his mutas a little bit, please. Pretty decent irradiate. Got a lot of damage done, and the science vessel did live. In the meantime, you know, Sync has kind of situated himself over in that bottom left corner. He's got 2 bunkers. He's got some missile turrets to defend, so might be difficult for GoRush to actually take that out. Seems like we're just going into a long game here. Both players getting a lot of bases, and now it's looking pretty hard for either of them to break each other. Definitely going to be difficult to break through that front with all the sunken colonies. Maybe here at the third, Sync can do something. Lurkers are done. That Scourge takes that Wraith down into the all red, so very low. Marines trying to hunt down these overlords. One does die. I don't know where those SCVs are going. Are those to repair wraiths or something? It's a little late in the game to be pulling the boys. That's definitely an early game tactic. Bit by Bit Prime didn't have much of a late game, so I will say Bit by Bit was hilarious in that he really only had one move, but he had like 5 different versions of that one move. I remember him making a command center, making like 4 SCVs from it, and then pulling all those SCVs. It was kind of amazing. Oh wow, it looks like this is going to be a Doom drop. Lurker and Hydra. Some more SCVs being transferred to the third, scouted out, but it's kind of too late at this point. The Wraiths come in here to try to kill it all off, but the mutas are there to protect, and oh man, this is a lot of units in your third. 2 bunkers are nice. Donated Hydras are always nice too. Oh, will that science vessel go down? It does, but not before it gets an irradiate off. And a lot of Marines outside the third, but it's going to be tough for them to actually walk up into this base. And the Lurkers are going to burrow within range of this bunker. I have to think it's going to die pretty quickly. It does blow up. Hydras are in range of those SCVs now. Reburrowing. Okay, no, there are still a bunch of overloads left here, never mind. So GoRush is a decent position here, but a lot of army for Sync is in the area. If he can get all this, oh, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, this is one of the mains, so he's got a really just a super narrow ramp. Scan goes down, the Marines run in to try to pick those off. 2 Lurkers are down, the Hydras are dying. 1 Hydra left, 2 Lurkers. Last of the overloads goes down, and it looks like these Marines are able to clean up everything in his base, so looks like Sync is able to keep this one for now. Another drop going, looks like into Sync's main is where that's headed. That'll be pretty annoying for him. We're at a point where GoRush has 4 gas pretty comfortably. He's the one on the aggressive right now, so it's not the position Terran wants to be in. Looks like tank production has started. Should make sense against Lurkers. Those are good to mix in. Some units here, but really not a lot, and not as good irradiate targets. The Lurkers have burrowed now, and they're kind of close to the production. Oh, a bunch of idle SCVs in GoRush's main. A Hydra attack over the natural now. Tanks are not siege, so they're not actually that good against Hydras yet. Siege tanks just demolish Hydralisks, but unsiege tanks fight well, but not great against them. And yeah, this is a tough position. Good defense matrix on that Marine, but there are still Lurkers in this base. And it's tough to kill Lurkers with Marines when the Lurkers are basically on top of your production. But it looks like actually he's just about able to do it. Only 1 Lurker left here. Mutas flying into the third, but they definitely do not want to be fighting that bunker turret combo. That is not what he was interested in. I think GoRush falling apart a little bit here. Could have actually gotten some decent damage done to that SCV line, but just too much on his plate right now. Something had to give. Should we take another base soon? I always love the look on people's face when they realize they're on camera. Just like the eyes wide. Oh my god, it was me today. Pretty strong force here. I don't know if they can attack into all those sunks though, especially if there are other units in the area, which there are. A couple lurkers behind that would be very difficult to push through, but 4 siege tanks actually going to make this a lot easier. I guess the plan here is to shell the sunks and then move in with the rest of his army. Unfortunately for GoRush, these are pretty stacked. Definitely a common move from Zerg, just to have all their sunks stacked up together. I do believe buildings take splash damage, although I guess I'm not 100% sure on that one. Another drop here in Sync's third. A lot more lurkers this time. I think this is 6 lurkers. The last one was 4. Okay, it's 2 more. It's kind of a lot with lurkers, though. Looks like all the sunks have been taken out, and Sync is moving in, irradiating that lurker at the top of the ramp. Pretty nice. Assuming it's only 1, but we're not actually sure. That definitely could be a stack of lurkers. And the natural has been completely taken out. But in the meantime, Sync has lost his third as well. So now we're back to 3 base versus 2. Looks like GoRush actually... No, I think those are overlords right north of Sync's base. Probably the overlords from his drop, but maybe that's a new drop that I missed. Okay, and the hive has started. Going to be going into probably, I mean, defilers would be the obvious choice. Oh no, that was actually a hatchery that he was trying to take. Pretty presumptuous. New third started for Sync. They're in that position. And here we go, more units dropping out of these overlords, so... Oh, this is up in the top right, okay. Wow, those tanks are what I'd call vulnerable. It is now pulling them back, though. So both these players are taking bases. Like I said, this is looking like it's going to be kind of a longer one. And it's shaping up to be that. This one Muta is going to try to take down the command center. Definitely would like to see Sync pull that farther away, and I would also like to see GoRush move those lurkers back and do something productive with them. But in these types of games, it's tough to keep on top of everything. Oh, wow, okay, it's going to be Greater Spire. That's not what I was expecting. It's going to be Greater Spire and Defilers. Not sure about the synergy with those two, but that's what it is. Kind of comically, the Hydralist Den was not killed. Seems like GoRush could maybe retake that natural gas. He is now going to finish off everything else at this base. The barracks here definitely going to die. Looks like these tanks are able... Yeah, he's going to be able to deny this extractor. Irradiating something. A Hydra maybe? Looks like it was a Hydra. Wondering, yeah, like the base. There's a lot of bases on this map. We're gonna call it the 7 o'clock base. Is that a command center there? I'm not sure. GoRush is taking the bottom left again. So if it is a command center there, there will be probably a lot of fighting in the area. Academy. Really? Wow, I'm surprised it's an academy starting. Okay, and yes, the CC did land here, but overlords are dropping these lurkers into that base now, and it's probably going to be denied. Don't think one bunker is going to be quite enough to hold this. The Marines get killed pretty quickly, SCV is being pulled away, and the CC is lifting off. So yeah, this is not going to happen, but in the meantime, Sync has moved his army up into the top right position. He's probably going to be able to deny this base from GoRush. We'll see, though. There's a Defiler now, and Well, one Defiler under a Darkstorm at the top of that ramp will basically hold it forever. We'll have to see how good the irradiates are. Looks like he hit a Hydra there. Morph it? Morph it? No. Actually, oh wow, I think he killed a couple Hydras there. There's a lot of tanks up in this position. Overlord's moving out. Looks like they probably just dropped everything there. And yeah, I don't blame Sync. This position does not seem very breakable. Especially... Okay, yeah, looks like in the meantime, the bottom left has been taken out. Mostly, the hatch did go down, so the most important thing is gone. But as I was going to say, very difficult to actually break one of these mains when there's, you know, one lurker under a Dark Swarm at the top of the ramp. So you can irradiate it, but then they'll probably just move another lurker there. So kind of the dance that Terrans and Zergs play with each other. We have seen this game shift from where it was. GoRush was the aggressor for most of these engagements, but now it seems that Sync is the one sort of playing whack-a-mole here, which is the normal relationship in this matchup. Pretty unfortunate for GoRush that his, down here, what was his natural hatch finishes basically as soon as the army gets there to kill it. About the worst timing you could imagine. And this time they do kill off the Hydra Den. But again, I'm not sure, you know, how does he get up the ramp? He just kind of has to run away. Looks like the base count right now is 4 to 4? Definitely better for Sync right now, if that is the case. He's playing quite well after like 4 cheeses in a row. Kind of just decided that they were going to play a long macro game, and he's come back pretty well. Lots of tanks. Denying this gas again at the 4th. And irradiating a lurker. Not sure what GoRush really is supposed to do. Maybe those Guardians will help him deal with the tanks. And I haven't seen those Wraiths in a while. I wonder if they were lost. Don't remember them all going down, but certainly reasonable to think that they were lost in one of these drops. We do actually see a dropship out now for Sync. I think just picking up some SCVs there, though. 2 dropships. Okay, and I think those are Guardians have been started. Not sure what he'd be doing with Devourers at this point. Maybe if the Wraith Menace comes back, but... Well, I guess they could be for killing Science Vessels? No, I mean, Scourge would just be the choice there. Yeah, they are Guardians. I think Guardians seem pretty good here. Part of the problem he's having is these tanks, and Guardians are going to do a pretty good job of pushing those tanks around. Science Vessel coming in to irradiate one Guardian. Oh wow, and the other one just flies out to his death. Not very good micro so far on these Guardians. At least from the one. You can't really stop getting irradiated. That's just going to happen. And the irradiated Guardian does die off. And this other one is just, yeah, just lost for basically a couple Marines. Not a great trade there. You need to take better care of your Guardians if you're going to build them. They are very expensive. I think this now looks like a 5-base Terran, but GoRush has hatcheries going up in a decent number of positions, so might be able to fight back on that. Another irradiate is done on the Hydra. The others turn on their brother and execute him. Kind of understandable at that point. Still sad to watch, although they are Zerg, so they don't give a crap. Hydra drop at this middle base here. Very difficult base to hold, and actually the command center does end up dying. A couple radiates on the Hydras will kill off a couple of them, but the rest are still alive and able to finish this base off. And actually a pretty big drop here at what I think is the 4th Oh man, lurkers with a dark swarm over top. This base is just gonna have to be abandoned unless Sync can get his tanks over there in time and maybe shut them down, but seems very unlikely since they are in the middle of the map. Gonna have to lift off this command center. And actually moving the lurkers forward, he wants to try to kill the SCVs off, and there's not anywhere for them to run. Dropships are evacuating them out, but still a pretty scary situation for them. Science vessels are here to get out their irradiates. This drop will eventually be dealt with by them, but it's going to be pretty tough, honestly. The Defiler's dead now, so that's very helpful. I don't think... Oh wow, actually, those tanks are in range? That seems crazy. Man, siege tanks shoot far. Now this is what I thought the Guardians were going to be for, because if you're getting shot by tanks at one of these bases, but there's a couple Guardians there to shoot the tanks while they shoot your extractor, you can't really do that. Unless there are strong air-to-air units, like, I don't know, some Wraiths still alive, but I do believe those were all killed off. The only other option for dealing them would be these science vessels irradiating, but even that takes time. And, you know, 3 Guardians would be able to kill a couple tanks before they died, probably, but instead, GoRush kind of just let them die. Plague goes down on those Marines there. More importantly, hit the science vessel, actually. That's kind of what matters more there. It cannot be healed by the medics, given that it's, you know, not a bio unit. I always thought it was interesting, like, okay, so there's a medic healing the Marine, but they're still in a big suit. I don't think the medic can heal the suit, right? I don't know. It just seems weird. Same with SCVs. Now, if a medic heals a Zealot, okay, I get that. They don't really wear a ton of armor. Some, but it's like, they're really more about their shield and hitting stuff with side blades. That's kind of the Protoss thing. So Sync is retaking the bottom left. Basically been the base these two players have been fighting over the whole game. Some Marines at the top of the ramp are able to stop the Hydras from getting up. Really, if he just... I guess you can't right-click up there. Oh, but a big attack going down here. A lot of tanks were killed, and good Dark Swarms blocking them from killing off the Hydras. The tanks have re-siege, but another Dark Swarm, Lurkers, and Hydras underneath it, able to kill off the rest of these tanks, and it's... Wow, really, this game is starting to turn. It looked for a while like Sync had it. He'd come back, and was now into that sort of whack-a-mole stage where Terran just has to sort of grind you out and keep killing off your bases, but now we're starting to look like GoRush is able to take fights on the map, which is never a fun time for if you're playing as the Terran. And looks like, yeah, one science vessel does go down, killed by those 4 Hydras there, and they are going to run away. Kind of funny that I think it's like 6 Hydras are just still in the middle of the map at that base, denying it, I guess. They're zoning Hydras. A few Hydras also down here at the bottom left natural, cleaning up that missile turret before they are killed by the Marines. And yeah, you know, Sync is going to start reinforcing this position. He's got 1 bunker up on the high ground. I'd love to see some bunkers on the low ground as well, if that's something that he is trying to take right now. He definitely is. Looking at the minimap, though, I mean, GoRush is just everywhere. He has so much gas right now. That top right natural is being taken. The island base just north of Sync's main looks like it's been taken by him as well. He's had that island that is west of his main for a while now, so getting pretty scary for here the Terran here, and a big engagement going down. Hydras are everywhere on this army. Tanks doing a great job fighting back against them, but the Lurkers run up and burrow next to the tanks. A good spine hits both of them. They are all dead, and this position is definitely going to have to be abandoned by Sync. GoRush actually looks like he's going to kill off that CC on the low ground as well. Quick shots of our players. He definitely did kill that off. There's no way it moved out of position quickly enough. More irradiates going down on Lurkers. That is definitely what Sync has to be doing here to come back in this game. Starting to look pretty scary for him. Okay, well, I was going to say not enough Overlords for a drop, but actually there are definitely enough Overlords for a drop here. I think these units are probably going to load into those and try to run into that bottom left main. Only about half of them with actual units in them, but that's fine. Usually you have overlords to sort of tank for the others. Not actually happening here, though. Looks like there was... Oh no, this is a Zerg base. Where are we? Oh, that's the island. Okay. But lurkers are able to clean that up. And with the... what are those things? Nidus Canals? Yeah, that's what they're called. With the Nidus Canals, he is going to be able to reinforce that base pretty easily. And actually, here we go. Sync calls GG. Man, it was a close one. That was a pretty great game. I thought that he had it there for a second. He was in whack-a-mole stage, but GoRush was just able to grow a little bit out of his control and end up taking that game once he had like 5 gas. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. A pretty fun game. And I hope you turn in for the next one. Peace.